Pressure never knocks before it enters your life. It arrives through one phone call, one piece of bad news, one deadline, one financial problem, or one moment when everything suddenly feels heavier than you can carry. And that is where the real battle begins, not outside you, but inside your mind. When pressure hits, your heart races, your thoughts scatter, and your mind starts creating disasters that have not even happened. One small spark becomes an entire forest fire inside your imagination. The pressure itself may be real, but the chaos you create around it can be far greater. For centuries, wise thinkers have understood that we are often disturbed not only by what happens, but by the meaning we immediately attach to it. The event may be outside your control, but your response is where your power begins. Think of a mountain standing in the middle of a violent storm. The wind attacks it. Rain crashes against it. Lightning tears through the sky. But the mountain does not panic. It does not chase the storm or beg it to stop. It remains standing. That is the mind you must build. Because calm is easy when everything is going your way. Real strength appears when the deadline is closing, people are pressuring you, failure is staring at you, and you have every reason to lose control. That moment does not create your character. It reveals it. There is another dangerous truth you must understand. We often suffer more in imagination than in reality. Your mind whispers, what if everything goes wrong? And suddenly you are fighting battles that have not even happened. So when pressure comes, do not give it your first reaction. Pause, breathe, separate facts from fear, control what is yours to control and refuse to surrender your mind to what is not. In this video, we are going through 10 powerful lessons that will teach you how to face pressure without panic. Think clearly when everything feels overwhelming, and turn pressure from something that controls you into something you know how to handle. Because the goal is not to live a life without pressure. The goal is to become the kind of person pressure cannot control. Do not panic. Master pressure. Lesson 1. Master the first reaction. The first battle against pressure happens in the first few seconds. Before you solve the problem, before you make the decision, before you speak a single word, your mind will try to give you an immediate answer. Panic, escape, attack, or surrender. That first reaction feels automatic, but it does not have to become your final response. A trained mind creates a space between what happens and what it does next. Imagine a ship caught in the middle of a violent ocean. The waves do not ask the captain whether he is ready. They rise, crash against the vessel, and disappear beneath it. A weak captain fights every wave emotionally. A skilled captain watches the compass, adjusts the sails, and keeps moving toward the destination. Pressure is the ocean. Your reaction is the steering wheel. The bad news is one thing. The meaning you immediately attach to it is another. I am finished. Everything is ruined. I cannot handle this. Those thoughts can turn one difficult event into a psychological prison. This is why your first objective under pressure is not to solve everything. It is to stop making the situation worse inside your own head. Do not answer the angry message while your blood is boiling. Do not make a life-changing decision while fear is screaming. Do not turn one failure into a prophecy about your entire future. When life becomes difficult, bring your attention back to what is directly in front of you. That is the discipline. Not demanding that reality become comfortable, but becoming mentally strong enough to meet reality as it is. You do not need to control the entire battlefield. You only need to control your next move. You need to control the next move. Think of a diamond. It does not become valuable because pressure disappears. It becomes valuable because enormous pressure transforms what was hidden inside it. Your pressure can do the same to you, but only if you stop treating every difficult moment as evidence that you are broken. The next time pressure hits, give yourself 10 seconds before you react. Breathe slowly. Name what is actually happening. Then ask yourself one question. What is the next move that is within my control? Not tomorrow, not next month, not the worst possible outcome, just the next move. Because panic wants you to see the entire mountain at once. Wisdom asks you to take the next step. And when you master that first reaction, pressure stops being the force that controls your mind and becomes the test that reveals how much control you have built. Lesson 2. Separate the problem from the panic. When pressure enters your life, the first mistake you make is often not the problem itself. It is confusing the problem with the story your mind creates about it. Something goes wrong, and immediately your mind jumps 10 steps ahead. One mistake becomes failure. One failure becomes disaster. One difficult conversation becomes the end of everything. Before reality has finished speaking, Your imagination has already written the ending. The mind can turn a small wound into a permanent scar simply by repeatedly touching it. An event happens once, but your mind can make you experience it 100 times. The power lies in learning to examine your thoughts before believing them. Imagine standing in a dark room and seeing a shadow move across the wall. Your body reacts before your mind understands what it is. You assume danger. Your heart accelerates. But then you turn on the light and discover it was only a curtain moving in the wind. The darkness did not create the monster. Your imagination did. Pressure works the same way. So when something goes wrong, stop saying, "Everything is falling apart." Replace it with something precise. "This specific thing went wrong." Do not say, "I cannot handle this." Ask, "What exactly do I need to handle?" Do not say, "My future is ruined." Ask, "What has actually happened and what am I only predicting?" That distinction is incredibly powerful because fear speaks in absolutes. Always, never, everything, nothing. Reality rarely speaks that way. Reality gives you one event, one decision, one obstacle. Panic takes that single event and turns it into an entire identity. Train yourself to look directly at situations without adding unnecessary drama to them. Reduce the situation to its essential reality. That is emotional discipline. Seeing the event without decorating it with fear. Think of a surgeon standing in an operating room. The patient may be in danger, the situation may be urgent, and every second may matter. But the surgeon cannot afford to panic with the patient. The surgeon must become more precise as the pressure increases. The greater the pressure, the more valuable clarity becomes. You can train yourself the same way. When pressure hits, divide the situation into 3 parts. What happened? What am I imagining? What can I actually do? The first is reality. The second is your interpretation. The third is your power. This is where you begin taking your mind back, because pressure wants you emotionally involved in every possible outcome. Clear thinking brings you back to the only place where action exists, the present moment. You cannot solve tomorrow's disaster today. You cannot control an outcome that has not happened. You cannot fight 10 imaginary battles and still have enough strength for the real one. So stop fighting ghosts. Look at the problem. Name it. Reduce it. Handle what is yours, and let the rest remain where it belongs. Because when you separate the problem from the panic, the problem often becomes smaller, and you become larger than it. Lesson 3. Control your body before you control the situation. When pressure hits, your body often reacts before your mind has time to understand what is happening. Your heartbeat accelerates, your breathing becomes shallow, your muscles tighten, and suddenly your thoughts begin moving at the same speed as your pulse. This is why trying to think positively while your body is overwhelmed can often fail. Before you can command your thoughts, you must learn to calm the physical storm carrying them. Strength does not mean never feeling fear or tension. Strength means refusing to let those sensations become your commander. Your body may send you the signal that something is dangerous, but a signal is not always a command. You can feel pressure without becoming pressure. Imagine a rider on a powerful horse during a storm. The horse hears thunder and suddenly wants to run. If the rider panics too, both become uncontrollable. But if the rider becomes still, holds the reins, controls his breathing, and keeps his eyes forward, the animal slowly responds to his composure. Your body is that horse. Your awareness is the rider. This is why your breathing matters under pressure. When you deliberately slow your breathing, create physical stillness, and stop feeding frantic movements, you send your mind a different message. You are not surrendering. You are not pretending the problem does not exist. You are creating enough internal space to respond intelligently. Think about a professional athlete before the final moment of a competition. The crowd is screaming, the clock is running, everything is moving at maximum speed. Yet the best performers often become strangely quiet inside. Their movements become deliberate. Their attention narrows. Pressure does not disappear. They become more precise inside it. That is the skill you need when pressure rises. Do not immediately start talking. Do not pace around the room. Do not fire off messages. Do not make 10 decisions simultaneously. Slow your body down before you speed your mind up. Take one controlled breath. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Plant your feet. Look directly at what is happening. Then decide. This may sound simple, but simplicity becomes incredibly powerful when everything around you becomes chaotic. The goal is not to become emotionless. The goal is to prevent external events from turning your inner world into chaos. A storm can shake the surface of the ocean while the depths remain relatively still. Become like that ocean. Let the surface feel the pressure, but do not allow the deepest part of you to become violent every time life creates a wave. Because the person who can control his breathing, posture, voice, and movements under pressure has already won an important battle. He has created distance between what happens and what he does next. And inside that distance is something incredibly valuable: choice. Pressure wants speed. Clear thinking creates space. So the next time everything starts moving too quickly, do not immediately move with it. Slow down. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do in a crisis is not to move faster, but to become still enough to see clearly. Lesson 4. Stop trying to solve everything at once. Pressure becomes overwhelming when you look at the entire mountain instead of the next step. Your mind sees the deadline, the consequences, the people waiting for an answer, the possibility of failure, and suddenly, one problem feels like 10,000 problems, but your mind was never designed to carry tomorrow, next month, and the rest of your life at the same time. The answer is to return your attention to what is immediately in front of you. Do what the moment requires, and do it with excellence. Not everything deserves your attention right now. Some problems belong to tomorrow. Some belong to next week. Some may never happen at all. Imagine a climber standing beneath an enormous mountain. If he stares at the summit for hours, the distance can make him feel powerless. But the mountain is not climbed in one movement. It is conquered through thousands of small steps. He does not need to reach the summit today. He only needs to find the next place to put his foot. Your pressure works the same way. Do not ask, how am I going to fix my entire life? Ask, what is the next thing I can do? If you are drowning in work, do not think about the entire workload. Finish the first important task. If you are facing a financial problem, do not panic about your entire future. Identify the first action that improves your position. If you are in conflict with someone, do not rehearse every possible argument. Decide what needs to be said clearly and calmly. If you failed, do not immediately rebuild your entire identity around that failure. Study what happened, correct what you can, take the next step. Pressure feeds on complexity. Clarity comes from reducing things to what matters most. A soldier in battle does not need to know how every part of the war will unfold before taking his next position. He needs to understand his objective, read the ground, and make the next intelligent move. Your life may feel like a battlefield sometimes, but panic will never give you a better strategy. This is also why you should stop demanding certainty before taking action. You may never know whether your decision will produce the perfect outcome. You can only make the best decision available with the information you have right now. That is enough. The mind suffers when it constantly lives in imagined futures. You do not need to experience tomorrow's pain today. Do not pay emotional interest on a debt that has not come due. When pressure rises, narrow your world. What is happening right now? What actually needs to be done right now? What is within your control right now? Then do that one breath, one decision, one action, one step, and then another. Because the mountain does not become smaller. You become stronger by learning how to climb it. When you stop trying to carry the entire future on your shoulders, pressure loses its ability to paralyze you. Do not conquer everything today. Conquer what is in front of you. Lesson 5. Stop fighting what you cannot control. One of the deepest reasons pressure destroys people is that they waste their strength fighting things that were never theirs to command. You want people to understand you. You want circumstances to cooperate. You want the outcome to match the effort you gave. And when reality refuses, you do not just face the problem. You begin fighting reality itself. That second battle is where much of your suffering begins. There is a powerful distinction between what belongs to your responsibility and what does not. Your judgment, your choices, your effort, your discipline, and your response belong to you. Other people's opinions, the past, unexpected events, and the final outcome do not. Confuse these two worlds and pressure becomes unbearable. Imagine standing on the shore trying to command the ocean to stop producing waves. You can scream at it. You can become angry. You can demand calm. But the ocean does not care. The waves will continue. The wise sailor does not waste his strength arguing with the sea. He adjusts the sails, studies the current, and changes his course. That is how you should approach pressure. You cannot control whether someone disappoints you, but you can control what you do next. You cannot control whether an opportunity disappears, but you can control whether you prepare for the next one. You cannot control whether people criticize you, but you can control whether their words destroy your concentration. You cannot control the outcome completely, but you can control the quality of the person you bring into that outcome. This distinction becomes especially powerful during uncertainty. When you do not know what will happen, your mind desperately tries to predict everything. It creates scenarios, calculates possibilities, and rehearses disasters. You think you are preparing yourself, but often you are simply exhausting yourself before reality has even arrived. You may spend hours thinking about what could happen, only to discover that reality takes a completely different direction. Think about a tree during a violent storm. A rigid branch can snap because it refuses to move. A flexible branch bends with the wind and survives. Flexibility is not weakness, it is controlled adaptation. You need that kind of flexibility under pressure. If the plan changes, adapt. If someone leaves, continue. If the opportunity disappears, create another path. If the situation becomes harder, become more precise. Do not waste your energy asking, why is life not going the way I wanted? Ask, given that this is reality, what can I do now? That question turns helplessness into action. It moves your attention away from complaining about what cannot be changed and brings it back to what can still be done. The ability to remain steady when reality does not match your expectations is more than an idea. It is a practical survival skill. When you stop demanding that reality obey your preferences, you recover enormous amounts of mental energy. You stop trying to control the storm. You learn to steer through it, and once you understand that difference, pressure loses one of its greatest weapons. You do not need the world to cooperate with you to remain composed. You only need to remain in command of yourself. Lesson 6. Turn pressure into focus. Most people think pressure takes their focus away. The truth is that pressure reveals whether you ever learned how to focus in the first place. When everything becomes urgent, your attention starts jumping from one fear to another. You check your phone, replay conversations, imagine consequences, and think about what could go wrong. By the end, you have spent all your energy thinking about the problem without actually moving it forward. A focused mind does something different. It narrows the battlefield. Instead of allowing every possibility to enter, it asks one powerful question. What deserves my attention right now? That question can transform chaos into clarity because pressure becomes dangerous when everything feels equally important. Imagine a warrior standing in the middle of a battlefield. Hundreds of sounds surround him, shouting soldiers, horses, weapons, and chaos. If he tries to respond to everything at once, he becomes ineffective. But a trained warrior narrows his attention to the target directly in front of him. He does not need silence to focus. He needs enough discipline to ignore the noise. Your life is the same. The notification can wait. The opinion can wait. The argument can wait. The hypothetical disaster can wait. The next important action cannot. Your attention is one of the most valuable forms of power you possess. When your mind is constantly scattered, you become easy to control. Every notification can interrupt you. Every criticism can redirect you. Every fear can steal your attention. Eventually, you are no longer living according to your priorities. You are reacting to whatever screams the loudest. That is why pressure requires radical simplicity. When the situation becomes chaotic, reduce your world to 3 questions. What matters most? What can I control? What must I do next? Everything else is background noise until its turn arrives. Think about a laser. Ordinary light spreads in countless directions, but a laser concentrates its energy into a narrow beam. Its power does not come from having more energy. It comes from concentrating the energy it already has. Your mind works the same way. You do not necessarily need more motivation. You do not necessarily need more time. You need less mental leakage. Stop spending 10 minutes imagining what someone might think of you. Use those 10 minutes to solve the problem. Stop rehearsing every possible failure. Prepare for the most realistic one. Stop checking for reassurance every 5 minutes. Trust yourself enough to finish the task. And understand this. Focus under pressure does not mean becoming emotionally numb. It means refusing to let emotion hijack your attention. You can feel fear and still focus. You can feel uncertainty and still act. You can feel pressure and still choose where your attention goes. So now, take a moment and understand what pressure is really asking from you. It is not asking you to become fearless. It is not asking you to control every person, every situation, or every outcome. It is asking you to become stronger in the moments when life becomes difficult. Pressure will come. Deadlines will come. Disappointment will come. Plans will change. People will misunderstand you. Some opportunities will disappear. And sometimes, Despite your best effort, things will not go the way you wanted. You cannot build a life where pressure never appears, but you can build a mind that knows what to do when it arrives. Remember the lessons. Master your first reaction. Before you speak, pause. Before you decide, breathe. Separate the problem from the panic. Ask yourself what actually happened and what you are only imagining. Calm your body before demanding clarity from your mind. Slow your breathing, relax your body, and create enough space to choose your response. Stop trying to solve everything at once. You do not need to climb the entire mountain today. You only need to take the next step. Stop fighting what you cannot control. Your energy is valuable, so stop spending it on people, events, and outcomes that were never yours to command. And finally, turn pressure into focus. When everything becomes noisy, return to what matters most, what you can control, and what you must do next. The strongest person in the room is not always the one who speaks the loudest or moves the fastest. Sometimes it is the person who can remain clear when everyone else is confused. The person who can breathe when everyone else is panicking. The person who can accept what happened without allowing it to destroy what happens next. That is real strength. Pressure does not have to become your enemy. It can become your training ground. Every difficult moment gives you another opportunity to practice patience, clarity, discipline, courage, and self-control. Every time you pause instead of reacting, you become stronger. Every time you focus on what you can do instead of what you cannot change, you become stronger. Every time you take the next step despite uncertainty, you become stronger. So when pressure comes again, and it will, remember this. You do not need to control the entire storm. You only need to control your next move. You do not need to know exactly how everything will end. You only need enough clarity to take the next step. You do not need a perfect situation to remain steady. You need a steady mind that can meet an imperfect situation. The mountain may still be there. The storm may still be moving. The pressure may still be real. But you are no longer the same person who faced it before. You have learned how to pause. You have learned how to breathe. You have learned how to separate facts from fear, action from imagination, and responsibility from what is outside your control. You have learned that pressure does not have to control your mind unless you give it permission to do so. So the next time life becomes heavy, do not ask, how do I escape this? Ask, what is this moment asking me to become? Then breathe, stand firm, look clearly.